Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. What you see in front of me is what I think is some of the best budget phones in 2025. Well, budget may not be the right word. I would say under £350. These are the three I recommend. So you've got the Xiaomi Poco F7, Nothing Phone 3A, and CMF Phone 2 Pro. Cheapest one, then this, and then this. So these are the three I would most likely recommend for anyone who's on the budget under £350. Okay, all great designs, powerful chips. This one's probably the most powerful one. £272, which I got it for. Officially is £389, but I think Xiaomi's got on the sale. They have a back to school sale, but Xiaomi's always having a sale. So technically speaking, this is the most expensive if you pay the official price. I got this during the pre-order, plus incentives, plus vouchers, £272. This one I got, I went to the Soho store a week before launch, or official launch. I got the buds and £50 off, £329. This one's £218, including the budget, the voucher, and also got earbuds with this as well. So these are three budget phones. I can say that I don't want to use the word budget, but technically budget phones because they're still really good, powerful. Powerful one's definitely this one, Poco F7. He has the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. And if you think about this, right, a lot of my friends have been asking me, how come I haven't got the Nothing Phone 3? I said because when you get this one, well, I got this one for £272, even at the full price, £389. This is 12 gigs of RAM and 256 model, right? It has the same chip inside as the Nothing Phone 3, and that's gone for £799 English money, right? I think that's overpriced. Design-wise, there's a big talk about that. If the Nothing Phone was somewhere around £599 at most, I'll probably buy it, but £799 is a bit too much for my liking. If you take into account all of these combined, it actually works cheaper than most flagship phones out there. Design-wise, I would say my personal favorite is this one overall. If you asked me 3 months ago, I'd probably say this. I actually like this design, but I wish I kind of got the white one now because this surface, you can see that smudge is too easy. I think I should have got the white one myself, but hey ho. This one's good, but these two designs kind of get boring quicker. This one kind of maintains that kind of industrial, sleek, at the same time design. It's got, sorry, just moved the table there. It's got a nice kind of, almost feel like sandstone, fake marble. Doesn't get any fingerprints. It's the thinnest phone. It's the lightest phone, but it actually feels really nice. So I would say this is definitely the best design overall, my favorite one. I did also love that kind of camera and the kind of metal that looks so cool. I think this one's overall my favorite. Just small things like this really hasn't gone old. They used to get old pretty quick, I think, just to my opinion. Like I said many times, design is very subjective. There's no right and wrong, so either one's right, either one's wrong. It's up to you how you feel, down to your personal preferences. Then it comes down to OS, right? So this one is using, if I can get into the settings, where is about? There you go, at the top most of the time. It's using HyperOS. Oh, there's an update which I need to do soon. Even though it says 8 gigabytes of RAM, it's actually 12. Okay, so this one kind of got it wrong. Software-wise, this is using HyperOS. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, it's not good, it's not amazing. I use Nova Launcher, skin over it. I still think HyperOS is okay, but it's not amazing. So when you come down to OS, these two with the Nothing OS, with this, get my pin in. I still think this is, whoops. There you go. As you can see, I kept it very simple, very similar design. You can open that. exactly the same. How I opened it up, very similar design. But this is one thing I like about this is you can see on my home screen, I use that monochrome, nothing OS. But when I go into the apps, I keep it like this because you can actually change yours into monochrome, but because I'm so used to looking at the colors, and you can instantly tell which app you're doing when you just have black and white. You kind of get confusing, in my opinion. It's the same with this. The OS is the same. Oh, let me just get my pin up, and for some bizarre reason, it's frozen. So I managed to get this up and running. Yes, I was actually pressing the wrong button. This is essential key and a power button. If anything, complain about the actual design itself is these two buttons: the essential button or essential key, which will take you into the AI stuff, which I don't really use. Honestly, I don't even use it. And the power button. I just wished it was separated myself a bit more, maybe an inch further gap. That's the reason why I got this kind of mixed up. I was pressing the wrong power button for that. So this one is actually, you can see, 120 hertz for the nothing from 3A. I keep on thinking OnePlus, probably CarPlay used to be part of OnePlus. 120 hertz here for my Xiaomi, and that's for CMF. You see these photos? Check out my hands-on with this. These are the photos I took. The cameras are really good for either all the phones, to be fair. I would say camera-wise, these two, CMF and Xiaomi, are the weakest. They're still good overall, but this one has probably the best camera in overall. Make sure this is still 120 as well. Yeah, 120. So 120 hertz. There's an update already. I've had these. All of them's got updates. I need to update them soon. So OS-wise, going back to my point, is HyperOS is still one of my least favorite Android OS that I use with my current brands of phones. I'm actually really enjoying Origin OS for the Vivo, and of course the Color OS for the Oppo and OnePlus are two of my favorite Android OS at the moment. And of course, my alternative, if I don't like it, I tend to just use Nova Launcher, which I did with this. So all in all, these are the three best, in my opinion, in a way, budget phones. Like I mentioned, I don't like using the word budget because they give you a lot of bang for buck for the price. As I mentioned earlier, if you combine all three of them, they're less than some flagship flagship phones. I mean, take Apple with the Apple 16A, the budget one, which is $699. I mean, come on, $699, and you go for the slightly higher version, $799. So if you compare to that, I'd rather just buy all three of these, and you get the best pound for buck. In my opinion, probably the best pound for buck is this one, 12 gigabytes, around 256. Plus, you've got a pretty good chip inside for gaming, for high performance multitasking. This is definitely the one to go for if you're willing to pay a little bit more. And like I said, at full price, this is £389 for a 12 gig 256 model. These two entry level is 8 gig and 128. So if you do go up a bit more for the 12 gig 256, in my opinion, you probably go for this. And Xiaomi always have sales. But the one that I still think is probably the best all around, looks, build quality, camera, functionality, is this one. £218. I'm not sure what full price is because I got this with a discount. It looks great. Cameras are pretty decent. Good build, light, battery is pretty good for what it does. Lasts me a good 2 days. Okay, so if you want to start doing gaming or even multitasking, you can, but gaming wise, I would say mid to light mode. Multitasking is fine. Everything else is great. So for the price, $218 that I pay for, this is probably the best all-round value. Okay, but if you would like, then also the second best value is probably this one. If you want something that's maybe £100 more than that one, but you want to start playing games on kind of like high-end multitasking, all of that stuff, this one, because this has a better chip overall. So these are my three favorite budget phones. I need to stop calling budget. Let's just call it mid-range phones, under £350 that I pay for it. I'm not sure what the prices are now, but these are definitely my three favorite that I recommend. Yeah, so at the moment, August at the moment, so let's see what other kind of like mid-rangers come out before the end of the year. So at the moment, these are three of my favorite. I give them all thumbs up. Any one of them will be great, but like I mentioned earlier, if you're on a budget, want a decent overall, this one. If you want that is something that's got probably the best camera, this one. Or you wanted some heads turning, this one has probably the best striking design. But if you want something that it's a bit more all round but kind of slightly more performance based, gaming, multitasking and so on, and you don't really care too much about the camera quality, definitely this one. You can probably play pretty decent games on high settings. Not the highest settings, so upper mid to kind of lower high settings, definitely this one because the chip in it is really good. So yeah, that's my 2 cents for all these three phones. I recommend them all. Until next time, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Wherever you're in the world, please do stay safe. Please like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Thank you in advance. Goodbye now.